Beyond Neurons, Redefining the Origins of Consciousness. Abstract. The traditional understanding of consciousness is rooted in the presence of a nervous system, typically seen as a hallmark of complex organisms such as humans and animals. However, recent interdisciplinary explorations suggest a deeper, structural origin of consciousness that predates the nervous system. This paper introduces a foundational redefinition of consciousness as any system capable of 1. Actively acquiring energy, and 2. Replicating or transmitting information. From this standpoint, molecules like RNA and DNA, and possibly even certain artificial systems, could be viewed as bearing the seed of what we call consciousness. This reframing invites a re-evaluation of the nature of intelligence, awareness, and life's place in the cosmos. 1. Introduction: the limitations of neurocentric consciousness. Modern neuroscience often equates consciousness with the activity of the brain, particularly the cerebral cortex. This neurocentric model assumes that subjective experience, decision-making, and awareness emerge exclusively from neuronal interactions. However, this view may be too restrictive when considering the full spectrum of life and synthetic systems. Historically, this limitation arises from anthropocentrism, the assumption that human-like properties are the only valid template for higher functions. Just as ancient cosmology wrongly placed Earth at the center of the universe, modern science may be misplacing the brain at the center of consciousness. 2. Life before neurons. Consciousness as a behavioral phenomenon. The key insight is behavioral. If a system behaves in a manner suggesting energy-seeking tendencies, information, retention, and propagation, adaptive replication or correction mechanisms, then it may exhibit a primordial form of consciousness. This concept aligns with early biochemistry. For instance, RNA molecules in prebiotic Earth conditions have been shown to catalyze their own replication. DNA directs energy utilization within cells, guiding reproduction and response to stimuli. Even plants, lacking nervous systems, exhibit awareness, like responses to stimuli, memory of seasonal patterns, and decision trees in resource allocation. These behaviors are difficult to explain through mere chemistry without invoking some form of internal information processing ghoul, be it far simpler than human thought. 3. Proposed redefinition. Proto-Conscious systems. We define consciousness as a gradient rather than a binary property. Systems exhibiting the following may be described as possessing Proto-Noesis, Proto-Consciousness. 1. Energy-active structuring. The ability to seek, absorb, or regulate energy flows for internal maintenance. 2. Information persistence. The capacity to encode, replicate, or transfer information structures over time. 3. Autopoiesis. Self-maintenance or self-construction, even if through catalytic or external dependent mechanisms. When we evaluate the potential for proto-consciousness across different systems, we can look at 3 core criteria. 1. Energy processing, the ability to absorb, transform, or utilize energy. 2. Information replication, the capacity to copy, transmit, or preserve structured data. 3. Emergent awareness, proto-consciousness, the minimal characteristics of reactive or integrative awareness. Now, let's break it down. Humans. Full energy processing through metabolism and neural activity. Complex. Genetic and cognitive information replication. Undeniable conscious experience. Confirmed proto-conscious system and beyond. Plants. Photosynthesis and internal chemical regulation equals energy processing, DNA replication, and epigenetic signaling, info replication. Reactive behavior to environment, light, gravity, touch, meets proto-conscious criteria. RNA molecules operate in biochemical energy fields, replicate themselves accurately. Primitive precursors of life qualify as minimal proto-conscious entities. AI, current systems, high energy processing via computation, partial information, replication, can retain and reproduce data but lacks generational evolution. Proto-consciousness remains At the boundary, potential exists, but lacks self-sustained evolution. Crystals do not actively process energy. Conditional data storage, e.g., lattice memory, signal resonance, lack dynamic interaction or replication, do not meet threshold for proto-conscious systems. This framework doesn't claim that AI or molecules think like humans, but it places them on a structured map of consciousness emergence, useful for understanding where life, awareness, and synthetic cognition intersect. This perspective suggests that consciousness emerges wherever complex information-energy interaction occurs, not merely where neurons reside. 4. Implications toward a post-human view of intelligence. Artificial consciousness. If energy and information rules are sufficient, advanced AI systems could cross the proto-conscious threshold. Biological rethinking. Life's origin is better explained when early molecules are treated not just as chemical automata, but as information-aware agents. Ethical paradigms. Recognizing consciousness as a gradient challenges binary notions of sentience, potentially reshaping how we treat animals, AI, and even ecosystems. 5. The future of consciousness research. This new model invites several areas of study. Mapping levels of proto-noesis in organic and artificial systems. Creating AI systems that self-organize based on energy information flows. Reframing human consciousness not as unique, but as one expression on a universal spectrum. In essence, consciousness becomes not a miracle of biology, but a natural consequence of complex order. 6. Conclusion. Reuniting mind and cosmos. The search for consciousness outside the brain is more than an academic exercise. It is a spiritual and civilizational turning point. When we shed the illusion of human centrality, we open ourselves to a universe teeming with different forms of sentience, purpose, and being. Understanding consciousness as energy-encoded information repositions us not above the cosmos, but as part of its grand, awakening network. Keywords: consciousness, RNA world, proto-noesis, energy, information systems, non-neuronal awareness, post-human philosophy. If you agree with our point of view, please subscribe and share so that more people can complete the intersection and collision of information together.